Know where you want to put your flowers, what you want from your flowers. You know, flowers don't have to be something that are like a massive, big arrangement that's a bold statement. It can also be like a series of cutesy little posies. Don't estimate yourself, but also don't undervalue the power of just having that little something somewhere.
Hey Tribe, Stephanie Dixon here for Green is the New Black TV, your guide to conscious living in Asia. Today we are chatting with the beautiful Charlotte Puxley, who is the founder of Charlotte Puxley Flowers. We're going to be chatting about why flowers are so magical, her big future plans, and what she's learned along her journey. Charlotte, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about how your obsession and your lifelong journey with flowers began.
I started in fashion, of all things, and I always knew that I loved like color, texture, form, different things like that. I just realized that it was something that really worked for me because I can do it every day and it's a constant creative process and it dies. So you have to do it again. And so I kind of just got some shop work in London, doing some like sweeping floors. Once I started doing events driving around London. From there were so many different levels and sides to floristry that opened up. The kind of botanical drawing to landscape design to trees and all the different things.
Yeah, which I think it's really nice and refreshing actually. And I want to pick up on the point that you said there about the fact that you have to constantly create something new because they do die. So maybe you can unpack that a bit more.
I'm quite a romantic sort of person and in many different ways, but the best way about it is that you have to appreciate it then and now. You don't have any expectations for it to always be there. The fleeting moment of them makes you just appreciate them in so many different ways. And they're never going to be the same because they'll always have different quality or different ways that they were put together.
It is very romantic, and I think now, yeah, I understand it deeper now. And I know, you kind of describe your flowers a little bit like wild meets elegant, and for me that's very oxymoronic in a way.
Yeah,
because there's like the wildness but then the elegance, so maybe you can unpack that a little bit.
So many times it's something I can't quite explain, but it has to feel right. It's a lot about the color patterns and the textures that will bring it all together, but also the form and the shape. For me, vases are a key part of that because it means that they will speak to each other, and that kind of harmony is something that I find a constant fascination.
And why was it important for you to work with local and regional flowers?
We should appreciate what's here rather than always looking over the garden gate. And yes, we can get them in, but actually making the most out of what is available is something that I feel is really important.
And so what are some of the more interesting things or misconceptions you'd maybe want to bust, or interesting things that you've learned along your journey with flowers?
One of the things I've really noticed about flowers is that once you start having them, then you know. Then you understand the beauty of them and the journey and the giving that they can give you. And I really think that they definitely help people be more grounded and present. Like, take the time to look at flowers is actually something that's really undervalued.
And so what would Mother Nature say if she could speak right now?
I think she would say, definitely look after it. Use everything I give all the time. Get out there, appreciate it. But, enjoy it as well.
And what are some little green steps that our viewers can take to be more conscious about their flower choices?
Have your flower supplier, trust it, and then just go with that. Know where you want to put your flowers, what you want from your flowers. Flowers don't have to be something that are like a massive, big arrangement that's a bold statement. It can also be like a series of cutesy little posies. Don't estimate yourself, but also don't undervalue the power of just having that little something somewhere.
And what about in Singapore? What kind of flowers should we be leaning more towards so that, as you said, they last in the climate and maybe they last a bit longer, but also it's a regional or at least a Singaporean
flowers. Actually, there's a really great one called Liatris, which is not something that is that hard to find. It's actually from Taiwan, and it's a long purple one, and it's like really stick, but it just gets purpler and more purple as time goes by, and it has great longevity. Also, never underestimate the power of chrysanthemums. I know that they come with big stigmas and that certain colors really do mean certain things, but also other colors mean joy and life.
But thank you so much for sharing. I think that was really magical listening to you speaking about flowers.
That's okay.
And thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today, and if you're looking for a little bit more on your conscious living journey, you can head over to www.greenistheNewBlack.asia.